Okay, I think we will start. Welcome everyone who's joined this webinar. We are here to present our proposals for the vacant land on New Park Road in southwest London. The webinar forms part of a consultation process for this site ahead of a planning application being submitted to Lambeth Council next year. My name's Ros Barclay from a company called Coverdale Barclay. We are working with the project team to organise the various consultation events to socialise the proposals and gather feedback. And the rest of the project team are going to now introduce themselves, starting with you, please, Rachel.
Hello everyone, my name is Rachel Allen. I am Land Manager at Metropolitan Thames Valley.
Thank you, Rachel. And Mark, you're next.
Yeah, I'm Mark Slade from Sphere 25 Planning Consultancy, the planning consultants on the project.
Thank you, Mark. Mark and Andrea, please.
Hi, I'm Andrea Guilherme from Howard Tompkins Architects, architects responsible for the project.
Thank you. And Peter Bigg from Metropolitan Thames Valley Housing is also on the call. Thank you, Peter. So moving on, the consultation period for the site runs until nearly midnight on Monday, the 25th of November, so another nearly 2 weeks. We're really keen to hear your feedback on the proposals and would explain in a moment the different ways you can provide that feedback. There are two in-person consultation events coming up, both of which are being held at the Hub, also known as the MTVH Pop-Up Hub on King's Avenue next to Sainsbury's. The first is tomorrow afternoon, evening, so Thursday from 4 till 7. And the second one is this Saturday, the 16th, from 10 in the morning to 1:30 p.m. There is also a project website. You can see the web address there where you can find out more information about what's proposed for the site. And if you prefer to provide your feedback via email, the email address is here. That email address is also on the website. And on the website, there's also a feedback form that you can complete. But we would love to see as many of you as possible coming to the consultation events tomorrow and Saturday if you're able. If you'd rather provide your feedback via phone, then the free phone number is on the screen now. So we've allowed some time at the end of this webinar for the project team to answer your questions. So please do put any questions you have in the Q&A function on the webinar. And if there are any questions we haven't managed to get to in the time, we will capture them, take them away, draft answers to those questions, and then we will put them in an FAQ section on the website. So what you're going to see today is a summary from the exhibition boards from the consultation events. So if you want more information, please do come to the consultation events tomorrow or Saturday. But also be reassured that all of the information will be posted to the website. So if you can't come along to the consultation events, then do please look at the website, and the much fuller information will be posted there for you to read at your leisure. But just to remind you and reinforce the point that we really do want your feedback. It's only through feedback from the local community that proposals for developments such as this can improve and be enhanced. So moving on, Rachel, over to you to describe what's being proposed. Thank you.
Thanks, Ros. And thank you everyone for taking a bit of time out of your evening to come and join us and hear a bit about our initial proposals for the vacant land at New Park Road. I am Rachel Allen. I am Land Manager at Metropolitan Thames Valley. Metropolitan Thames Valley are a housing association, and we are the owners of the land we are talking about this evening. As members of the local community, I'm sure you are aware that this piece of land has been sitting empty for a while. So we are here this evening to share what our initial designs look like that will take this underutilised land and bring it forward as a residential scheme for affordable housing. Our initial capacity studies for this site suggest that it could accommodate around 130 homes. We would be looking to deliver all of these homes for affordable housing. We are currently at an early stage in the process, and the exact tenures that we'd be looking to deliver here aren't yet confirmed, but we'd definitely be looking to deliver some social rent here, and we're also exploring delivering a mix of homes for either shared ownership or London Living Rent. London Living Rent is a relatively new housing product. It's an initiative that is aimed at people who live and work in London, who'd like to get onto the property ladder, but are struggling to save for a deposit. In a London Living Rent home, tenants would be paying less than market rents. These rents are set by the GLA, and they are set at a local area level and tend to average around 65% of market rents. This would allow the tenant living there the opportunity to save some money for a deposit and then act as a stepping stone into home ownership. They would have the ability to purchase the home they are living in via shared ownership once they've saved that deposit, or indeed move on elsewhere when the time comes. Our initial designs that we're going to share with you this evening include a variety of household sizes. This includes 1-bed, 2-bed and 3-bed homes. All homes would have access to private outdoor amenity space by way of a balcony or a terrace. In addition to this, we'll be providing new community amenity space. This would include some new play areas amongst the buildings. We do want to make sure that this development meets local needs and that it's the best it can be. So we're here this evening to share these initial designs, give you the opportunity to ask any questions you may have, give us any feedback you'd like to give us. I'm now going to hand over to Mark, who is the planning consultant for the site, who's going to take you a bit through the project timeline.
Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, so obviously just to take it back to the site as it originally stood. So the site was historically residential, with the buildings on the site being demolished around about 2016. There's obviously a Clapham Park outline master plan where the proposals and the subsequent details were in 2006 and 2016 respectively. That proposed a 6-storey building with a school at the ground and first floor, and then 36 residential units on the upper floors. The proposals also incorporated a football pitch and playground to the rear of the site. It's now found that the demand for the school is no longer required, as it's been confirmed by Lambeth's Cabinet in around 2019 in their report. And so the opportunity to deliver the site as residential are currently being explored and then proposed to you tonight. Some initial pre-application discussions with Lambeth Council have taken place throughout this year, as well as a design review panel with independent panel members. We're also seeking to hold further discussions with Lambeth Council during the remainder of 2024 and early 2025, with the planning application submission date in February 2025 as well. This would also enable an indicated start on site date in 2026. Happy to pass over to Andrea.
Thank you, Mark. I am going to introduce the site, the key details and ideas, and then talk about landscape as well. So the site is located in the Clapham Park area, immediately adjacent to the wider master planned area of Clapham Park. The site is bounded by various residential buildings, New Park Road, 9503 to the north, the Comfort Court to the west, Ains Court to the south, and Tierney Road houses to the east boundary. The Clapham Park master plan will bring forward a new site F and E. Site F to the south of our site, and site E to the east and north of our site. The next. The site is currently vacant, but it has been historically residential, and the buildings that were there, Parsons House and Aspinall House, were demolished in 2016. Those buildings were up to 6 stories height. Currently, the site has a few Category B and Category C trees, but most of the trees on site are of low value, death or self-seeded trees. The scheme will aim to retain as many trees as possible, and any demolished trees will be replaced by new trees of the same value. Next. So in terms of key details and principles of our project, obviously retention of mature trees, as I've explained, defining in terms of the trees that we're retaining, there will be mostly category B, and the ones that we can't retain, we will keep the stumps as they are very good for providing habitats for biodiversity. In terms of landscape, we also will have sustainable urban drainage and rain gardens being proposed as a new orchard, as was mentioned before. Our project aims to be highly sustainable, and the environmental ambition is to create a low impact building that is efficient in construction and in operation. The building will apply passive house principles, a facade first approach and passive shading, and a net zero carbon operational, creating a healthy environment for living, and helps Lambeth becoming a low carbon borough. Renewable technologies will also be applied, like air source heat pumps and solar panels, and the buildings will be connected to a future district heating, so they will be ready for that connection. In terms of car parking, this will be prioritized for blue badge residents only, and it is a car-free development to reduce traffic. Next. In terms of layout, the project has been carefully designed to reflect immediate surroundings and provide a high quality of living for future residents. It includes communal spaces, as well as access to green space and local amenities. The development will offer a balanced housing mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, designed to accommodate a variety of household sizes and families. It will also include 10% of wheelchair homes, ensuring accessibility and inclusivity for residents with disabilities. These homes will primarily be located on the ground floor to ensure ease of access. The design prioritizes dual aspect homes, allowing for better natural light, ventilation, and enhance well-being for residents. Each home will have access to private outdoor space, including balconies and terraces, and residents will also enjoy access to communal amenity spaces designed for relaxation, socialization, and play. Next. The building heights were carefully considered. The New Park Road development proposes a maximum height of 6 stories, which is in keeping with other buildings in the surrounding area. The heights along Tierney Road boundary will be lower. So the proposal is for buildings up to 6 stories along New Park Road and decreasing towards the east boundary, which is the Tierney Road Gardens boundary. The height and the massing are carefully designed to mitigate overlooking, overshadowing, and ensuring privacy for nearby residents and enhancing the overall urban landscape. Next. There are a variety of existing and planned green spaces as part of the emerging master plan sites within the surrounding area. The proposals for the amenity within our site have been carefully considered and are designed to provide excellent amenity for residents. There will be play areas for children, and also areas where people can socialize to foster community and interaction and gathering. The site will preserve and enrich existing habitats and enhance the biodiversity. We will provide seating and picnic areas where residents can enjoy the calm and natural settings. And for the play areas, the proposals are for natural play opportunities, encouraging exploration and creativity. The site has very different levels, and the idea is to create with those levels slides and climbing structures, so using the existing nature as a play area as well. Next. So this is an image of what the play areas and amenity spaces, what we want it to be and what we envisage it to be. And I hope you all agree that it will be a lovely space to live. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. We've now got some time, allowed some time for questions. So please do submit your questions via the Q&A function in the webinar. None have come up so far, but we will hold fire. If you have any questions, then do type them into the Q&A function. And we'll just give you a couple of minutes. Of course, we're equally happy to answer questions at the in-person consultation events. We will be there tomorrow and on Saturday, so that is another way of having your questions answered. So first question, thank you. Will it all be flats? So Rachel, that's one for you.
Yes, in the current proposals, it is assumed that all of the residential accommodation will be delivered as flats.
Thank you, Rachel. Can you say a bit more about the play facilities, what equipment, etc.? Oh, Andrea, you're on mute.
Maybe you can go back 2 slides.
This one?
Yeah. So in terms of the play facilities, they will be not all concentrated on one site. They will be spread across the north side. So between block A and C on the top, you can see there is an area there with play facilities. That will be the natural play space. It's an area where we are keeping most of the trees, and the levels will allow for climbing frames and natural sliding areas, because the levels are quite steep in that area, so they are perfect for that. Then in front of, like between building A, B, and C, the idea is to have a more of a structure played area, and between D and C to have the swings and more slides and areas that are, again, a bit more structured.
Thank you, Andrea. Any further questions? Don't be shy. We'll give it a couple of minutes. I will flick back through the slides to, might trigger a couple more questions. No more questions have come through. In which case, if you do have any follow-up questions, or you'd like to talk to us in person or via email, then I will just flick back, actually flick on to remind you of the address of the website, which is on your screen now. mtvhnewparkroad.co.uk. All of the exhibition board information will be up on the website, will be going up on the website, but do make a note of the email address if you'd like to submit your questions or comments by email. But we do also suggest, if you'd like, to come to consultation event tomorrow or Saturday when we will be there in person. Any further questions or anything else the panel team, project team want to add?
No, just to thank everyone for taking their time to come this evening, and we do hope to see as many of you as possible at the consultation events over the coming days.
Thank you, Rachel. And yes, just to reiterate Rachel's sentiment, thank you very much for joining. We really appreciate it. And we'd love to hear your feedback on the proposals. So thank you very much for joining.